Hi guys, happy Wednesday, Wellness Wednesday. This is Mary Fulton with Mary Fulton Fit. And always on Wednesday, we do mindfulness along with Mondays. And so today we are talking about, failure, fear of failure, and fear of success. I know it sounds kind of funny to say fear of success, but we actually do have a lot of fears that play into both, and they keep us from a lot of the things that we want to do or be and be successful. So let me just tag some friends so some friends get on there. Hi, if you're on, please put in the chat box, I'm here. I'm ready to hear about fears of failure and fear of success. I'm excited to share some stuff with you guys, and I'm just learning a lot as I prepare these videos for you guys. I'm learning everything for myself as well. So it's great. It's been a great learning experience every day, learning something new, right? So give me a thumbs up if you're here and you're ready to hear about how you can help yourself with the fears maybe that you have of failure and fear of success. So let me just put here, I need some thumbs up. I need you to join in. This is an interactive thing. Let's go. Don't jump in. I should have brought my little sticks so you could give me the hearts and the thumbs up. Okay, so let's get started. So fear of failure. A lot of us, most of the things that keep us from what we want to do or be is because of fear. And so some of it stems in fear of failing and also fear of succeeding. So let's break it down today. And if you've got a pen and paper and you want to jot some notes down, do it with me, okay? And if you want to say anything in the chat box, please do. I think my chat box is, there it is. Rita is watching. What's up, Rita? Give me a thumbs up. I know you're here. Say, I'm ready. Okay, so first, what is fear? Let's define it. What is fear? You guys tell me. What do you think fear is? Come on, throw something out there. What is fear? How do we put it into a definition? Well, it's an emotional state, you guys, all right? We have a lot of different emotional states. Yeah, go Rita. We've got anger, frustration. Fear is an emotional state. Our brain is activated to avoid pain. So this was just a natural thing that's been given to us, God-given, fight or flight, right, for protection, and for a lot of things in our life. So fear isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's just how we use it, okay? Fear is something we can't control. Yes, good. Awesome. So let me get back to this. So it's to protect us. It's to help us to pay attention, and it's the fight or flight. So fear can be a good thing, but fear also is associated with massive pain, right? Can you think of one thing that you have fear of, like right off the top of your head, right? It could be an object. It could be doing something that gives you fear. And so right away, it creates massive pain. And we attach it to things, okay, that we don't need to attach it to. So again, fear in and of itself is a natural thing for us to protect us, but we attach it to things that we don't need to attach it to. Can you think of already things that you might be fearing that keep you away from things you might want to do? Let's just throw out an example. Fear of flying, right? You don't need to attach that fear to flight, but you do, and it keeps you from traveling and experiencing things in your life that you might want to do, all right? Fear is not what we want to avoid. Fear is useful emotion in the appropriate context, okay? So let's go. I got lots of notes here. Yes, fear of loss, right? To eliminate fear where it is limiting us and not supporting us, okay? So again, saying it. We want to eliminate fear where it is limiting us, not supporting us. So fear can also protect you in some things, right? But where it's limiting you is what we're going to talk about today. So most people anticipate the potential of problems, right? And pain that can generate from fear. So for example, flying on an airplane, oh, I'm scared that my family's going to die, or if we both get on the same airplane, everyone's going to die together. All these things that we think about, fear keeps you from traveling. Simple. Fear, let's do one of those little fun acronyms, stands for F, false, E, evidence that appears real. Okay, so again, false evidence that appears real. I'm gonna say it one more time because it's so true, and as I speak it out to you guys, I'm thinking about it. So fear is false evidence that appears real. It's so real to us. And how often have you gotten really concerned and scared about something, worried about something? I mean, to the point that it's just like, it hasn't even happened, but you're experiencing it all. Give me a thumbs up if you've done that before. It didn't even happen, but you experienced everything. You thought about it and you felt it all. You felt the pain. You felt the anxiety. Your chest is the pressure on your chest, right? Well, guess what? You might as well have gone through it because your body did. Our body is I'm learning so much about our body, but just like thinking about all the things that we take in emotionally, all those stress and all these state of mind, emotional states that we experience it internally, and it affects our body. It affects our organs. It affects us, not in good ways, right? That's why we get sick and so many different things. So you might as well, when you worry, that's why today's verse that I shared today, I should grab it. Let me see if I can grab it. But today's verse that I shared on Instagram and Facebook, let me go to my Facebook really quick. It said, so don't worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will bring its own worries. Today's trouble is enough for today. Matthew 4:14. I'm going blind. No, Matthew 6:34. But it's so true. God's word says all these truths. Like, we worry about it. So if you're worrying about tomorrow, you're already taking on all the stress of everything. And who's to say you're even going to be alive tomorrow, right? But you just took on all the stress of everything you didn't complete today, or the fear, or whatever you think is going to happen, and it hasn't even happened. So that's kind of crazy talk when I put it out there. Don't you think? Would you give me a thumbs up if you're in agreement, right? So you're totally experiencing it. Like, I even had a nightmare last night. It was a terrible nightmare. I'm not going to share it, but it was terrible. And I woke up just feeling horrible about it. But it wasn't real. It was a nightmare. But I just kept replaying it in my head, and I kept experiencing it all over and over again. And that's what, in this thing, everything I'm talking to you guys about is what I'm learning through Tony Robbins, by the way. So he said that, if you experience something, let's just say something terrible, right? A death. You would experience it once, right? With the specific person that passed away, or you got into a big accident, whatever it is you're scared of. You would experience it how many times? Once. But in your head, you experience it like a rerun over and over. It's like I Love Lucy over and over again every week, right? Have you ever done that? Have you woken up in a panic fear in the middle of the night, and whatever your thoughts were, they were so terrible, and now you're replaying it all night. You can't go to sleep. Oh my gosh, you're experiencing it over and over again. You gotta stop. We gotta stop. I do it too. There's no reason to go there. Fear is not of God. Fear is not a good thing. It doesn't take us to good places. Yes, fear to protect, but not this kind of fear, right? And so once it gets in your head, then you're trapped in that, and it's gonna keep you from maybe things that you're supposed to do. So listen to this little quote. A coward dies 1,000 deaths, and a courageous man dies once. Listen to that again. It's really powerful. A coward dies 1,000 deaths, but a courageous man only one. Because he actually went for it, and the other guy's just sitting back, experiencing that he's going to die and how he's going to die 1,000 times. Well, that sounds like a waste of time. Can I get a little high five or a thumbs up that we don't need to be wasting our lives away, because God has given us our days and they are numbered, and so worrying about these things is not going to benefit us. It happens to me quite oftenly. Oh, you understand? Yes, good. All right, so guess what? So today we're going to talk about how we get control of it. But Mary, how am I going to get control of it? Well, I'm learning how to do it too, you guys, okay? This is not something that I have under wraps. Mr. Tony Robbins, he's really good at this stuff because he's been repeating these patterns over and over again in his life, and he's got that, man, he can do it. So we got to learn how to control it. So I'm going to give you some of the tips that he gave me today, and I'm going to share them with you, okay? So here we go. We are going to look at failure and success, okay? Let's learn a few techniques to free us from the fear of failure and success. So failure is impossible. The only way, listen to this, the only way that you can fail is to tell yourself that you failed. I'm going to say that again, all right, because I had to listen to him twice. So failure is impossible. The only way you can fail is to tell yourself that you failed. But it's true. You're like, but wait a minute, I failed my test. It was an F, Mary, so I failed. Only if you think you failed. Because what it is the only way you feel the feelings of failure is what you've associated to what failure is. So you represent the things in a certain way and you evaluate it in the specific way of what failure is. So let me give you an example. When I went to go to be a teacher, I have always struggled with reading and like learning. I'm very squirrely, as you can tell. I'm kind of like all over the place, a little bit crazy. So there's benefits to me being like that because I'm a happy, fun instructor and I'll get you bouncing around the room. The drawbacks of being a squirrel person is it's hard for me to sit still and read a book. I've been trying to study some stuff with my homework today and I can't seem to sit still and learn it. So what I wanted to say is I went to take a test. I took it 3 times. I think I passed it on the 4th. Okay, I felt like the biggest loser for sure. It was a reading assessment test. And I took it over and over again. I felt terrible. I felt like a big failure. But not failure enough that I decided I was just going to keep going back. You know what I learned later though? Is when I got into the classroom and I worked with students, everything that was on the test was what I was doing with them. I just learn differently. I learn better when I'm doing hands-on. So when I'm hands-on, I learn and then I'm able to, I would have passed that test with flying colors. But just the test scared me, the fear, right? And so I considered myself a failure and I told myself that I wasn't smart. But I am, I just learned a different way. But the rules that I defined myself with was that if I didn't pass this RECA assessment, then I was a big loser because I had to take it 4 times. But I really wasn't. So the better mindset, I mean, I didn't give up, so that's great. But the better mindset would have been, you know what? I bombed that first test, but I took it and I got 4 right. I don't know how many I got right. And I'm going to keep practicing so I can get better, right? And that's what I did. But I just want to say that it's what we define as failure to be failure. So we are in control of, so it says we are in control, nothing. Oh, sorry. Maybe I wrote this down wrong. Hold on, let me read this. We are in control. Nothing or no one. Yes, we are in control. Nothing or no one can determine if we decide that we failed or succeeded. You get to determine that. But we're going to dig into yourself right now. Hi, Ceci. Good to see you. Hi, Alan. We're going to dig into yourself right now because you're the one that decides, and I'm the one that decides how we're going to label ourselves. You don't even realize what you've decided is a failure or a success. We're going to break it down right now so you can see yourself. But you're the one that decides if you failed or you succeeded at something. And so how do we change and break out of fear? Because it's fear that keeps us from both. So we got to change the rules or change the ways of defining what determines a success and a failure to you. You might be already thinking in your head, oh, you know what? I think this is success and I think this is failure. Good. Keep those thoughts going there because I'm going to give you an activity in a second. Any 2 people on the street, if we go and ask them, hey, what describe to me what success is for you and what a failure is for you, they're going to be very radically different. We're going to have somebody who says, you know, a success for me is not feeling bad, like feeling really good, right? Or a success, somebody else might be like, a successful to me means achieving all of my goals, okay? And then another person might be like, success for me is that I got out of bed and I'm breathing, right? So everybody's got different rules. And we are the ones that get to define whether we succeeded in something or whether we failed. And this is the mindset change that's going to help you, help me to get us to not feel like failures, to get us to realize that we are working towards something and we're going to get there and we haven't failed. We're succeeding. So what we have to do in life, what we want to do is make ourselves effective. So the easy way and the way that most of us think, including myself, is it's making it really hard to feel bad and easy to feel good. So listen again. Life is better and more effective if it's really hard to feel bad. So that means, okay, and easy to feel good. But we can't live life like that because life is hard. And if we're always thinking that when the things are hard, we're not successful and we failed, then we are going to fail. All right? So choosing to look at life this way, and I like this little quote that Tony Robbins shared. He said, happily achieve instead of achieve to be happy. Listen to that again. Happily achieve instead of achieve to be happy. I think most of us live in the world of achieve and then we're going to be happy. If I get that house on the ocean, then I'll be happy. If my business blooms, then I'll be happy. If my kids, go to college, then I'll be happy. If my marriage is this way, then I'll be happy. Instead of saying, right now, as I'm going through the hard stuff, as I'm struggling with my children, or I'm struggling in my work, or I'm struggling in my marriage, these are the things I'm going to be happy as I'm working towards it. That's called the journey. And life is a journey the whole time. It doesn't stop. There's no breaks. It's a journey. So if we live in the space that only when we achieve things we're going to be happy, then if you do get there, you may temporarily be happy, but you won't ever be happy because it's the mindset, right? Right? So you got to take a look at your fear versus your fear of failure and fear of success, okay? So these are when the questions come up. So grab your pen because you're going to have time right now. It's just going to be like 30 seconds to a minute, or you can type it on here if you feel comfortable. I need you to define and think about whose rules you're living by. So you're going to take a second. We've all developed a pattern of what we think fear and failure is. Each one of us different. So what must happen in order for you to feel like a success? This is your question. So in your mind, what is success? So what rules have you defined that makes you successful? So I want you to quickly think about those right now. I'm going to give you like 30 seconds. What must happen for you to feel like you succeeded in something? I'm not asking you to tell me that you want a big house and you want to be the best husband, wife, what. That's not the question. So listen again. What does it mean for you to succeed? So let me give you an example. Maybe when you feel successful when you finished a task, okay? Something simple like that. When you feel a certain way, there's a certain feeling behind it, okay? Go. You got 30 seconds. What has to happen for you to feel like you succeeded at something? And if you guys want to share it, please throw it up here. I would love it if you put it in the chat box. What must happen in order for you to feel like you succeeded? Okay, it's important that you do this with me because otherwise you're not going to get to the last part and finish it all and wrap it like a present. Feeling confident no matter what the outcome of the situation is. Okay, that's how you feel successful. I love it. That's perfect. Anybody else have one? That's a great one, Rita. Feeling confident no matter what the outcome of the situation is. I think for me, it's that I gave everything I could. All in. I gave all that I could, and I kept pushing. Okay, so that's your one, right? Now I'm going to ask you, what must happen for you to feel like a failure? What do you define as failure for you? Don't think about anybody else. What makes you feel like you failed? Write it down. Think about it. You got this. I love that we're all together. And if you want to put it in the chat box, throw it up on the chat box. There's only seven of you guys tonight, but I know more people will watch this later and they'll want to do it too. So, and if you're watching this later with us, throw it in the chat box. Throw it in the chat box right now. So what must happen for you to feel like a failure? Anybody want to throw it up there? I know it's kind of deep. It's kind of personal. I think for me, I feel like a failure if I am not staying within my value system. So my values and beliefs, then I feel like I failed. And that one's tough for me. That one's hard for me to forgive myself. Okay, so now that we've got our success, so what makes you feel successful? Okay, you wrote it down. And now what makes you feel like a failure? You have your two definitions. You've written your definitions down. Nobody else has written them. This is you. So whose rules are these? Look at them. Where did you get these? Did you create this yourself or did you learn it somewhere? Is there something in there that maybe was from the outside that came in? that made it? And is it appropriate to create this for your success or failure? What do you think? Is it working for you? Or are you feeling more like you failing every single day? All right? So a lot of times, maybe our expectations are, and I'm not telling you to lower your expectations, but it's more of the thought process behind it. So for somebody, they might be like, oh, I'm a millionaire, so I'm a failure if I'm not making, $2 million. Where somebody over here is like, I'm just happy I'm making my minimum wage, right? But it really doesn't matter when you get down to the core of it, because the core is, remember, going back to happily achieving instead of achieve to be happy. So what should they be for you? Throw them in the chat box. Throw them in the chat box if you can think of something that you feel like you want to share. What should they be? So really, these rules will make us a little bit happier if they're not so strict, and we give ourselves grace, I really think. So no matter what the situation is, I gave my all and I learned and succeeded. That's a good one, right? That was Tony Robbins. He shared that one. He said, succeed no matter what. He has created 2 rules for himself. So to succeed is that he gave all that he could, all right? And he knew. And then the same thing that he gave and for his fear of failure, same thing. What must happen for him to feel like a failure? Well, no, because he's always living in the moment of he gave all he could in the situation and he learned something. Success is proving to myself that others that I can accomplish whatever goal I set. Failure, not completing whatever I set myself out to do. Disappointing those around me. Right? So Lysine, I'm listening to that and I can kind of hear it from the outside. So there's a lot of worrying about others, right? Disappointing others, disapproval of others. I am the same way. So that's the rule that we want to get away from. It's not that we don't care about other people and we don't want to have integrity or values, right? But if we sit and worry about what everybody else thinks, we're always going to feel like we failed because we're never going to live up to other people's expectations, are we? Right? So what we need to do is is to say, no matter what the situation is, I'm going to give it my all and I'm succeeding because I'm still going. And if I succeed, if I feel like I succeeded, so I didn't pass that RECA test, right? I was very driven at the time because I wanted to become a school teacher, so I was going to take the test as many times as it took. But say I didn't want to become a school teacher that bad, then I maybe would have just given up, right? But feeling success that, okay, the first test didn't go so well, but I'm going to do the next one. I took it. I'm proud of myself would be a good way to look at it, right? So I'm going to study a little bit more. I learned a little bit during the test of all the information I don't know. So that means I need to step up my game and really get in there and go and not feel like a failure, right? So that's what I want to say is like, so you know what, here, let me give you a little example. First time I started my little shirt shop that I didn't know I was going to do, I was a mess with all my orders. Like I was trying to like figure out where their addresses were, and like I had like one sheet over here and I had like 100 shirts and I didn't know where they were going to go, and I was trying to deliver some of them handmade. I didn't know what kind of bags to use. It was crazy. Okay, and my whole bedroom was like a mess of shirts and bags. And I had a friend that said to me, hey, you know what? You might feel like you failed because your organization wasn't on point, but this person was like, but you're gonna look back and be like, oh my gosh, do you remember when I did that with the shirts and it was like all a terrible mess, but the next time I did it better, and then the next time I did it better and better and better. And I love that advice. And I've been using it for everything, because the first time I'm doing this shirt thing, I'm not going to figure that out, right? There's so many logistics. So every time I get a new order, now I send the emails. I have like this whole little system that I've created, but it didn't happen the first time. And so failure is when we quit and give up. And we never want to get to quitting and giving up. We shouldn't have to. If you sit and know that you succeeded because you gave all that you could and you learned something, then you're going to succeed every time you do something. So you get on a special diet for the week and you bought your vegetables and you went shopping, but on day 3 you had a large pizza. But did you go and buy vegetables and you went shopping and you learned the program? Yes? Thumbs up? Yes, you did. So guess what? You actually succeeded. If you look at things this way, you're saying, I am 2 steps closer. I did eat the large pizza, but it's all good because I've got more veggies in the fridge and I'm just going to keep going. Then you didn't fail. But most of us sit with that large pizza. Am I making you hungry? And we think about, I ate the large pizza. Forget it. I'm a failure. I'm a loser. I can't even do this. And then you go down the hole, right? And I'm just using that as an example. But if you sit and say what you did right and what you're going to learn for the next time. So should I have given up the first time with the t-shirt thing because it was all a mess and crazy? No. I learned from it and now I laugh about it because I've gotten better and better every time. And now I have more orders and I'm so glad I have a system because it's a lot easier and I put my kids to work to help me. So what I'm saying is success is whatever you want to call it. And failure should really just be when you quit and you totally gave up. And so when you do that, you're going to be able to sit with yourself, an everyday activity. Oh, I failed as a mom today. I was mean to my kids, or I didn't make them dinner today. But did you make them dinner yesterday? And have you always been there for them? And do you clean up the house for them? Do you do other things? Yes, you do. So you know what? Just wipe it under the carpet and keep going. You're not a failure mom out there, ladies. We beat ourselves up way too much. Oh, I'm a failure wife because I don't do enough of this, or I'm not a good at work. And stop doing that. Set yourself up for success in your mind. Stop giving you these rules that you can't achieve every single day. That's what I do. Have you ever woken up and felt like you failed the whole day already? It hasn't even started. Okay, so you gotta sit back a second and remember it's a journey and we should just be happy that we're in it. We're alive, we got a job, we get to be a mom or not get to be a mom or wherever you are in your life in this space, and say, I'm achieving and learning every day and just I succeeded because I learned something and I'm giving my all. But if you quit, that's truly when we failed, right? So we don't want to get there. And the foundation for all of this and all of these things is fear. Fear of not getting approved by others. Fear of fear of too much success and not knowing what to do with it. Fear of all of these things. So our core beliefs are what guide our emotions. Again, our core beliefs are what generate our emotions. And they're all different for everybody, okay? So better to identify those beliefs and they're going to help empower you or disempower you. So if you can sit back and say, I started a clean eating program and I did on the 3rd day, I didn't do the program the way I was supposed to, but I did it on the other days, then you've succeeded already. But you have to change the way you see it and look at yourself with empowering beliefs instead of disempowering beliefs. Shame, guilt, anger, frustration, just, oh, I'm not good at this. I can't ever do it. Oh, I just forget it. I'm just that's never for me. Those are all disempowering beliefs. I can do it. I will do it. Not try. I'm going to do it. These are all empowering beliefs. I'm strong enough. It's not I'm too old or I'm too young. You're alive, so you can do it. What would you attempt? Here's a big question before we go. What would you attempt to do if you couldn't fail? Throw it up there. Throw it in the chat box. What would you do today if you couldn't fail? Man, what would I do if I couldn't fail? I think I would open up my own my own gym that had things on your soul and your mind, and a food place with food preps and things for kids too, and a dance studio because I love to dance. There'd be a club and Calvin Harris would come and it would be this amazing place where there could be dancing, there could be time for people to hang out and have community. Wow, I didn't even know this dream was alive in me, but there it is. If I if I really believed and I wasn't scared, what would I attempt to do? That would be something that I would go for. But I have so many fears of, I don't have money, or how would I do that? I don't know how to manage stuff like that. But you know what? That would be my Mary Fulton Fit. You know, come virtual, come in person, community, mindset, body, everything together, God, food, body, soul, friendships, a place where you can dance the night away. That's a dream. There you go. Run a marathon, open a wine bar, be a dancer. Yes, I would have a big dance hall. Oh, I love it. Donna, we're thinking the same. Maybe we can combine our ideas. But yeah, but what's keeping you? It's fear. Fear of failure, fear of success, both. Oh, whoops, sorry. Become a doctor. Buy a home that's big enough for my family to live in. Yes, I love it. Let's do it, Yvette. We just let fear and failure control us. So fear of failure. But now that you know that you kind of have the definition and you haven't failed, it's just a process. It's part of the journey. So today what I want you to do is change your approach. It's all in how we think. That's what I've learned. And it's so cool because taking captive your thoughts is from God's word, and it's so true. I only used to take it as like, you know, don't think about negative things and get rid of them and stuff. But now I'm looking at taking captive of your thoughts and like using this mind that God has given us and saying, oh, I don't have to think about it like that. Just because my personality or my home, I grew up a certain way, like I don't have to stay there. I don't have to feel like I'm a failure all the time because of how I've defined it. What if I just change how I think a little bit? Just a little bit. It's like a 2 millimeter change to say, oh, I did succeed today because I tried my best and these are the things I did and I'm good. You know, I didn't accomplish my Mary Fulton 500 checklist that I never accomplish. So, but if I go to bed like a failure every day, then I'm going to wake up like a failure every day, and I am going to fail. So if I go to bed and say, hey, today I spent time with my kids, today I made dinner, today I taught some classes, boom, I did all I could. I missed the other 100 things on my checklist, but I did those 4. I feel good. On to the next day, because tomorrow has enough worries of its own, right, team? What do we have here? Yes, I would be dancing every day, all day, every morning. Yay! And talk to God. I love it. That's beautiful. So that's it. Change your approach. Make it hard to fail and easy to succeed, right? And that's it. So on Monday, I'm going to come back to you guys, and I'm going to continue this because I try to continue these. The other one's going to be erasing the feelings of failure, maybe past failures. So that's going to be the next one. But today, the challenge is, again, I'm going to read, make it hard to fail and easy to succeed. And the last thing that he said here was, happily achieve instead of achieve to be happy. Again, happily achieve instead of achieve to be happy. You know, when I went to Dominican Republic when I was a teenager, I got to go and like share about God, and I went on a mission trip. It was amazing. Beautiful country. Very, very poor, and then very, very rich. There was like no middle ground. You were by the ocean in like a mansion, and then across the street you were living in a like literally made out of cardboard and dirt homes. It made me appreciate having a toilet and running water and everything that we have. And I should go on another trip like that because it was very eye-opening. So these people that lived in these little dirt huts and stuff were the happiest people I've ever seen. I'm not kidding. That always stuck with me. I was 18 when I went, and they were so joyful. I think some of them did have like a TV in there, and but they had dirt floors, okay? And think about how we live, and we feel like, oh, you know, my house isn't like this or that, and I don't have all the right furniture, and you compare yourself to your neighbors or whatever happens. That happens to me. But those people were happy because of where they were. They were satisfied because they were happily achieving instead of achieving to be happy. In our society, we struggle because in our society, everything is about more stuff and more things, and more better this and that and all those things. More better is not a word, but all of those things. And if we could just sit and being happy as we're achieving things, and we could forget about trying to achieve to be happy, I think we might be smiling a little bit more, whether we have a dirt floor or we have, the most beautiful tile. So anyways, I wanted to leave you guys with that and tell you, rock on. You didn't fail, you succeeded. And life is, about making mistakes and learning from them and growing. And that's it. So be proud of yourself today. Tell me one thing you feel successful about today. Come on, throw it in the chat box before we go. Let's leave on a really high note, feeling good, feeling in that really good state of mind, not letting other things bring us down. What's one thing you feel really successful about? Come on, start sharing them. I feel successful that I pulled myself out of a really negative spot today and studied and made this video. I feel successful. Comparing your life to anyone else's life is never a never-ending spiral. Yes, it is. There's either, they have less or they have more. It's a, yeah, exactly. So being happy with where you are. Rock on, sisters. I killed today's health goals. Beast, go Rita. You used 15 pounds in your workout today. Go Faith. Yeah, baby. Get it. I want some 15ers. I have one 15er. Alicia got me. Right? What else do you feel successful about today? Come on, there's 11 of you. Everyone share one thing. I feel successful that I worked out early and made my grocery list. Beast. Whoop, whoop. There you go, girl. One step closer to your goals. What else? We got 4 people that shared. Give me a few more. Somebody else is out there just chilling with us. I woke up today and pushed myself to feel better. Amen. 2 feet on the ground, starting with gratitude. Yeah. What else do we have out there? Come on, share. I know there's other ones of you guys that are hiding in secret, but you're learning, so that's great. Rose, I feel successful by doing my workout and finish. Go, Rose. It's your birthday. Good. And Joni, I did my squat challenge despite my broken toe. What? You have a broken toe? Oh, no. Okay, be careful with that toe, okay? Don't aggravate it. You could always do, maybe don't do the lunges on that broken toe, girlfriend. Do extra squats, okay? It's okay. It's not, that doesn't make you a failure. You succeeded. Yay. Okay, cool. What else do we have out there? Lisa, and I'm also working on out of my way of a funk. Yay, God. Thanks to everybody. You guys are the bomb. That's awesome. Well, just rock on, you guys. Be successful today. Remember, every moment, every step that we're going through is a blessing and another day that God has given us. Don't worry about tomorrow. Worry about today. Feel successful in what you have accomplished today. The only time you failed is when you've completely quit and just said, I'm out of here, right? I am successful because I've been going strong with you since April. That's awesome. Yes. Oh my gosh, you guys, we've been together since March. I don't even believe it. It's August. How did we get here? It went March to August. Taylor Swift has a new song. It's called August. I like it. Yay. Well, you guys are the best. Thanks for encouraging me every day. I love you guys. I'm going to see you tomorrow for some workouts. And share this on your page today. There's a lot of people out there that maybe feel like they're not succeeding or they're failing or they have fears. There's a lot of fear going on right now. So share this with them and hopefully it'll encourage them. You guys have a great night. Hi, Jill. We're about to go. Jill, rewind and watch it. It's good stuff, girl. God bless you guys. Have an amazing day and I'll see you tomorrow. I know, since March I started so slow. Time is flying. I know you guys want to keep talking, huh? You want to keep the little stream going so you can chit chat. All right, well, I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a great night. Bye. Yay.